What's good everyone, it's Zigzag here, welcome back to another Geoguessr video. Today I am playing one of our old favourites on this channel, an Unexplored World. In case you're new around here and you don't know, this is a map that includes 111 countries from around the world, and the thing that all of these countries have in common is that they are not on Google Street View. So in today's episode we could get Paraguay, or Saudi Arabia, or Fiji, anything like that is possible, and it is a really good time to see how well I can do without any of the normal car meta. So let's head in here, we'll play no moving as usual, and see what kind of scores we can get. First one here, and we have immediately something that's reminding me of North Africa, I must say, just because of this kind of like holy pole. And actually we have an Algerian flag on the wall here, so almost undoubtedly we are in Algeria here. Let's pay attention for next time here. We've got actually a yellow number plate here. Seems like most of them are white, but definitely interesting to do with that. Somewhere near a cardiologist. Interesting, but I'm not sure if I would trust this cardiologist. It seems a bit dodgy based on the sign, but hey, you know, I'm sure he does a good job. Anyway, I'm wondering where to put this one, because it's rather drier than I'm used to seeing in Algeria. Algeria actually does have quite a bit of green, but I'm thinking like somewhere over here where it shows on the map that it is a bit drier, rather than being around Constantine or something like that, where it seems quite green. So I'll go here, but we'll find out soon enough. Okay, it was all the way south. That makes sense for the dryness indeed. To be honest, like, I would not have expected such a big city to be all the way out here. I mean, what about these other cities? Like, surely they're not as big. Yeah, this must be like the biggest, like, inland city in Algeria, I'm assuming. Check that out. That looks like a 100,000 person city, I would say. I could be wrong, but that's the way it strikes me. Anyway, pretty interesting one here there. Let's see what happens on the next one. Got the country right, so we're on a one country streak now, but obviously not the greatest start. This is somewhere in the Americas, I assume, because we've got double yellow lines and we're driving right. But of course, there are still several options once we establish that we're there. I think Central America is working quite nicely here. We do have some English as well, so that probably like includes some countries, excludes some of the Spanish-speaking ones. But I'm not exactly sure where to go here. Like, it's relatively flat. It could be Caribbean, but the fact that we're driving right makes me think it's less likely, and makes me think it could be like Belize or something like that instead. If we have English plus the fact that we have this like double yellow lines. I mean, it does kind of look like Guatemala, southern Mexico, so I really think I like that. I guess architecture's slightly concerning because it just kind of feels a bit strange, but I wouldn't even be surprised if Belize drove left. I mean, I think it drives right. All the countries around it drive right, so it would make sense, but I wouldn't even be surprised. I think I'll just go for it. Second option would be just, like, it's not Jamaica because we're driving right. So, I don't know, something in here would be my other option. But I'll try Belize here. Okay, it was actually Costa Rica. That makes sense with a bit of English, I think. But yeah, we should have, if we saw some Spanish, then it would have been a bit easier, I feel. Still not a bad result, but yeah. Do let me know what I could have done differently there to not go Belize, if you know. Okay, next one here. We have some, this is so recognizable. I don't even need to look at any of the rest of the to look here and see these two words here. No, it's going to be something in Vietnamese. In fact, only this word with the kind of like arrow on the top of the A there has to be Vietnamese. Also kind of feels a bit like Cambodia or something like that with the right hand drive, and yeah, it feels a bit like Laos as well. Definitely that kind of vibe that I got off this round. And they have those red and white painted poles very commonly in Vietnam. So one super interesting thing that you may actually not know is that I think they did full coverage in Vietnam and just never published it. And then the motorbike coverage that they used to have, if you go back to my early videos on the channel, you can see plenty of Vietnam, and that used to be all like all around the country, and that all got deleted. So I think Vietnam like was kind of covered, and then they just decided or didn't want to release it, or the government didn't want them to or something. But very, very interesting in my opinion. We in Vietnam are a bit unlucky not to be closer to the like kind of the writing here, because Vietnamese like shop names are fantastic because they always include the address on them. However, we don't have that this time. I think this might be like further south, although we do have a lot of mountains there. I kind of got the vibe that it looks kind of more dry, like Cambodia maybe. So that's kind of my thought here. I could even see it being all the way down there, but I'll try here as a hedge. And yeah, it was kind of like, yeah, not too far from Phnom Penh there. It's a good guess, but nothing crazy. Let's head through to the next one here, where we are going to be somewhere in Cyprus. Wow, Cyprus is looking pretty beautiful here in the snow. Actually, you do get this like kind of black car driving on the left quite often in Cyprus, so that makes sense for the unofficial coverage. But we're in true Rhodos. Interesting. Not ever heard of that spot. It's probably quite small, but I guess we'll give it a quick scan just in case it does come up relatively easily. I thought of like somewhere over here just because of well, it says Paphos here. Does it say that there? Yeah, it says Paphos Life there. Just noticed that. So I don't know if that's like this specific region, but I think this car covered the whole country, so I don't really think it's that useful to look for it just inside there. I mean, we don't really see too much here. We don't know how big the mountains are nearby or anything. So, you know, I still will click in this green section, but really no clue as to where it would be more likely to be. Well, it's just on the border between Limassol and Nicosia there, which is good. Decent score there. Actually pretty good, 20 kilometers away. And the final one here is a broken location, maybe? Nope, we are here in official coverage. Interesting. So, maybe, yeah, something got overwritten. Now, wouldn't it be funny if I got the country wrong here? But I think this is Italy. Like, white outer lines, black and white chevrons should make sense for Italy here. And we have, like, a massive, like, volcanic-looking mountain here. That's super interesting. What's perhaps even more interesting is that, like, we see ocean north here, which wouldn't make sense for a whole lot of places in Italy, I feel. I think we might be, like, on some kind of, like an outcrop here or something like that. But if we're looking north, it is rather confusing to me. Like, I guess something near Naples or like on an island or something could really work here, but am I missing something? I don't know. I think it's just Italy. But hold up. How do you go Italy on a map where it should just only be including countries that aren't already included in Geoguessr? So this is weird that we've ended up with official coverage here, I must say. It could, I doubt it's San Marino. It can't be the Vatican. So could it be maybe Liechtenstein? I mean, no, I don't think so. But, yeah, I think I'll just go Italy here. This is mighty confusing. I'm very curious to see what this actually ends up being. Unless we're, like, on the border looking into Kosovo? No, it's ocean there. It's just impossible. Let's try this. And yeah, we were on this island here. So, what is the meaning of that? That is controlled by Italy, I can only assume. So an interesting oversight by the map creator, perhaps? Very interesting. If you have some kind of idea as to why that may have ended up there, do let me know in the comments. But that was 16,000. We got the country right every time after round 2. But never insane scores, that must be said. So I would love to get a 24,000 on this map one day. I've done so many episodes and yet never have. It just requires getting the city most times. Here we have some Ethiopian language, and yeah, we do have Ethiopian flags as well, so definitely feeling good. Could just be the capital here. I mean, it's a good piece of logic that generally speaking, when you have like a 4-lane road anywhere, it's quite likely to be the capital, or at least in a very big city, because you quite simply don't need such a big road in most places, so that's kind of my logic here. We do see some palms, but it doesn't look like we're too close to the ocean, because that should be land in the background there, in my opinion. Obviously, like, you're not going to see ocean in Ethiopia anyway, but I think I would guess capital here, and may as well pick some kind of a roundabout that at least would be possible, in theory. So this thing here, it doesn't really seem to fit. I actually would like to find one here. This is probably not it, because it looks like it's not enough lanes there. So what about this one? I mean, this is at least double lane, but yeah, I mean, this should, like, it should appear very big on the map, in my opinion. Just like, it should, like, be near the center of the city as well. So, I mean, the city center is apparently here. This is like a big, like, overpass thing. Can't be that. This thing here, I mean, yeah. I don't know if I can actually be bothered to find which one it should be here, but I really do assume we're going to be there. I don't even know what the second biggest city is. There don't seem to be any other really big ones. Like this city here, yeah, not nearly close to the size of Addis Ababa. So yeah, we'll go for this guess here. Will it be correct? Okay, well, oh man, how do we not see that? Gosh, we clicked on this one, which is clearly smaller than this yellow one here. Although it only shows like 1 arrow for one direction of travel. I guess it's, yeah, just direction of travel, not necessarily how many lanes there were. But that's a good start to this seed. Next one here, we're going to be somewhere in Shinar. I think this is going to be Kazakhstan. I do like that, especially because we have like a Russian style sign with the black at the bottom. Obviously you don't get that in Ukraine, but you do get that in Kazakhstan and some of the other like republics nearby. So I do like that. And do we see anything else here? So I wondered if that would be like a headdress, because it's a mainly Islamic country, but honestly, I can't really tell what's going on. I think it's just a hot day, maybe. It is very like sandy here. I mean, it feels like Russia. So yeah, there's a Kazakhstani flag. I guess I would go not too far from Astana. It's probably a bit greener over there, so I might go like this kind of area here, maybe in this town. Let's actually see the name again, Shinar. I doubt that's actually going to be anything here, but we can give it a quick scan. It probably just means like cafe or something. Still, I mean, may as well search. I mean, we do have like a town name here, Shalkar, which is similar, to be fair. But yeah, I don't think Shinar is going to show up for us here. I hope it didn't, but I'll go for this guess here. Let's see if it's going to be correct. Oh man, I thought of guessing like all the way out here, but I mean, it was, here's the thing, it was very sandy, like on the side of the road here. I feel like that's actually like quite a good clue for guessing near like a big lake like that. So maybe I should have, to be fair. It's definitely difficult to convince yourself to go all the way out here. But we're on a 5-country streak here, which is nice. Next one here, what are we going to have? Some Belarus, I would say. Looks like number plates, are they fitting? I don't think so. So let's take a look around here. It kind of feels like one of the ex-Soviet countries, but not necessarily Belarus. So what about these taxis and everything? They're like BMW, and like a lot of like, are these Indian cars or something like that? Where do these ones come from? I'm not sure, but they kind of look like Indian cars to me. I thought also, oh, interesting. Look at this. Sugurta. Interesting. Ooh. Okay, well, couple of thoughts. So, ooh, look at that, like, Soviet-style crossing sign as well. This is confusing to me. So first thing I thought of was, like, Uzbekistan, just because in Uzbekistan, they have a lot of, like, Chevrolets. That's a Chevrolet, I think. That's a Chevrolet, and yeah, these ones are as well. So I feel like Uzbekistan is actually the play here. Yeah, I feel like it just basically has to be Uzbekistan. Not to mention that as I checked on the map here, they don't actually use Cyrillic, and this is like Russian sounding or like Central Asian sounding, but no Cyrillic. And they have this ex-Soviet or Soviet crossing sign there. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is Uzbekistan. One of the craziest matters is that they just have a ton of Chevys, because that's what's produced there. And yeah, I mean, like the rich people can afford to drive like a BMW or something, but everyone else just drives the same old like small cars, which is pretty funny. These two ladies definitely could fit for looking Uzbekistani, I think, as well. So feeling good here. Do we go to the capital? There are like a number of bigger cities in Uzbekistan. We could be in this city. I've heard that that's like kind of more the kind of like older style city. I guess I would go Tashkent here. I think that makes a lot of sense. Could be one of these ones over here as well. But yeah, Tashkent feeling fine here. And it was actually, it was inside the older style city. Interesting. But I guess still not a bad score. We're only like one major city away there. Uzbekistan's also a very interestingly shaped country. I wonder how many Uzbekistanis have actually traveled the length of it. Okay, so surely this is just Liechtenstein. Like, reason being, we got that Alps architecture, and what other country is not covered over here apart from Liechtenstein? So I'm going to go full confidence here. And it was indeed in Vaduz. That makes sense. And we are full a nice score because of it. And the last one here of this seed, we're on a 7-country streak here. So I actually want to get this correct if I can. See if we can get to 10. That would be a big good goal for us this series, to get a 10-country streak. So I feel like I may never have done that before. Anyway, here we have language. That is interesting. So obviously Arabic is involved here. That might be some kind of other ancient language, or maybe it's just flipped and it's just like Latin. Can't really tell. It's kind of too low res to tell anyway. Okay, so people here. We've got headdress, definitely an Islamic country in my opinion, based on the language and that. But do we get anything else here? That's a bit more difficult. Okay, so what about this? Ooh, like it's super dry. What is this? Something sport, Reebok, Nike, okay. Like North Africa feeling best here, Middle East obviously also possible. What about this number plate here? Arabic on the top, and what's this language? Oh my gosh. It's, it almost looks like Greek or something, but it's not Greek. Oh no, these are just like Arabic numerals, right? I think these are Arabic numerals, I think so. That's just numbers there. Yeah, I think so, but that doesn't really help us, of course. As for this distant like view here, I could see like Syria working. I don't know if Syria would use short number plates though. Like short number plates tends to be more of like an American influenced country type of thing to do. And to be fair, I feel like Syria is somewhat more European influenced, bordering like Turkey, Lebanon, Israel. Still don't hate it though. I don't know guys, but the longer I look at it, the more I'm thinking that maybe North Africa is the play here. I just like look at this like kind of like rock wall here, and I don't know, like the fashion as well. I don't know if that's actually going to be accurate at all, but something about it does kind of like the whole vibe of the place does give me a kind of like almost an African feel. This problem still is these short number plates. I just don't feel like you would see short number plates in North Africa, where it is even more Europe influence. So I feel like I have to go out here. So maybe Iraq? Iraq, you know, with their American kind of influence there, if you want to say that, would have probably the more possibility to be like, you know, having short number plates, I feel. So I guess that's my guess here. Afghanistan, possible. Afghanistan actually low-key possible here. I don't mind that either. I think I would go like Iraq or Afghanistan here after everything. Oh, we have like kind of thinner pants. And in Pakistan, you have thick, like wide pants. So I want to say it would be the same in Afghanistan. So I'm going to go Iraq here. And, oh man, it was just Syria, all the way south there. Number plates kind of surprised me, but yeah, I guess it was one of the options the whole time there. We lose our country streak here. Let's go for another one before we end off the video here, and see if we can at least pull some nice scores. Maybe I'll actually go for a really nice score here. Okay, Metropolitan Book Shop and Cafe. This is familiar, this like street. I think I've had one here before. So we're driving left. We've got like black and white number plates. It feels Caribbean, could be something in the middle, in the Pacific as well. I feel like with this black number plate, we're almost certainly Caribbean though. I do like Caribbean quite a bit more. Now, do we see anything else here? I'm like struggling to see anything like a flag or anything like that. Seems like a pretty generic round here. So do we get anything here? Phone cards, photocopying services, ice cream parlor. I feel like in American English they might spell it with, you know, without parlor would have no U, maybe? Is that true? I'm not sure. But, oh, I see AA here. I thought of like Antigua and Barbuda. It could be a B behind there. It's possible. Maybe I don't have a better idea. How big is the capital city of Antigua and Barbuda? I feel like it's relatively small, right? Here we are. So it could be St. John's. It's not impossible. Is this like a main street kind of vibe? Maybe not. We'd also have to have mountains north. And I mean, it doesn't really seem like Antigua and Barbuda does have that, at least where we could possibly be. So I feel like that's actually not the play here. So what about other stuff going along here? Maybe, I don't know. It's difficult to say here. I might just try it for the simple fact that, like the AA would seem to somewhat check out. Barbados, would you have like a mountain north there? Not really. Barbados is surprisingly flat. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Also Kingston is kind of tiny there, so I think it's possible, but I don't know. What about this plate? Nothing really. So I'll go for Antigua here. And it was just Trinidad and Tobago. I thought of that. And it is a much bigger city there, Port of Spain. So that makes sense. Kind of like a very long suburb here, and then just kind of not much elsewhere. So yeah, very interesting country, Trinidad and Tobago. But we start off here with a lower score. It's okay, I can live with that. And this almost gives me the kind of like Costa Rica feeling again. No front plates, so definitely Central America if you ask me. But I think Costa Rica did have front plates actually, so maybe one of those other countries nearby there. It's a lot of eucalyptus trees here as well. Very interesting. Wouldn't necessarily have expected to see that. We do have Spanish as well. So, yeah, don't know what kind of vibe I get here. These look like American tourists to me. Which is interesting, outside the pizza place, okay. Yeah, generic number plates here. So, yeah, I don't know what I quite think of this. I still definitely get the vibe that it's one of these countries here. It kind of feels quite developed, so I think Panama is also quite possible. I actually don't mind Panama at all. I feel like that would be the kind of country where they wouldn't have front plates. And it also does feel like quite clean, nicely developed, and almost gives me slight South American vibes as well. What about flags in the background here? Yeah, that is the Panama flag, is it not? Yeah, nice. Okay, very nice. Very good, very good. Okay, and also, guys, if you didn't know, Panama is getting official Google coverage as we speak. They're driving all over the country, so that will be exciting, because that's actually not an insignificant country. That's, you know, kind of, in some ways, it's bigger than Guatemala in terms of latitude, so that's kind of cool. But okay, let's... I actually wanted to go further out this direction. I'm going to go in the David district here. And it was. Nice. Very good indeed. And that's going to be a nice little score. Maybe, Panama will be my country, guys. Maybe I'll just be cracked at Panama for some reason. Okay, next one here. We got the pink car. You have short plates here. This feels like kind of another Caribbean vibe. Bahamas, shirt company. Okay, so Bahamas obviously feeling good here. Also, I noticed that we have like Bahamas painted colors here, as well as yellow plates. And you do get like either light blue or light yellow plates in the Bahamas. So we're definitely there. And we should be in Nassau here, I think. This feels like capital city vibes. And we are indeed there, on the main street, on the shopping street. Okay, second last round of the video here. We have an ocean north, and we have a Maldives flag. So we're in this atoll. I feel like, because this was such an easy round, we should go for the 5k here, or at least the 499 something. So, that is the place here. I think we can get it into the map here and find it. So, it's actually kind of a bigger place than I expected, the Maldives. You can definitely get lost here, for sure. Okay, we haven't found this place yet, and I said I wanted to get it. I still do. Although you guys know how my, oh, there we go, very nice. I was gonna say, you guys know how my attention span is sometimes, not the greatest. So, ooh, that's like the traditional writing, I guess. Very interesting stuff indeed. I mean, I would love to kind of know the history of the Maldives. I should watch a video about that on YouTube or something, because it seems kind of fascinating, like who was living here and all the different like kind of influences on this country. Especially if they have like a traditional alphabet there. That's very interesting indeed. Okay, so let's see here. We're on, like, do we see any other islands here? No, we don't. To the north, maybe that's an island. Maybe it's a boat. We have like some kind of like a stage here, which is interesting. And if we are indeed to the north, I actually assumed I had the right name, but oh, I don't even have the right name. It's just the same starting letters here. Am I right? Yeah. Okay. The search continues. Sorry about that. Okay. What about this stuff down here? Similar name, but nothing too great. Again, what about this stuff up here? I mean, this almost felt like a bit better, to be honest, but I think it's also wrong. What about this? Now that kind of looks good almost. But I think the archipelago was wrong. Maybe I won't go for the 5k here. I don't know. I just I think I've scanned pretty thoroughly here for that atoll, and I don't really see it. So yeah, big country indeed. What about this stuff up here? That's all India, I assume. So yeah, okay. I think instead, well, I'll just go for the one that had the similar name, because we, well, even though I pretty much established it won't be there, I got a bit of an attachment to it in the few minutes I was looking over it, and it was just up here on this island here. So this was the atoll that we were looking for. Oh, it's just near the capital. Interesting. Okay, yeah, that definitely fits. I think I could have maybe recognized that on the map. Bit of northwest beach there. The last one here, maybe feeling like a bit Iranian, because we got like a very Turkish style curb here with the yellow and the white. We have long plates. They don't have blue strips, which I would associate more with Iran having blue strips. If it's not that, then could it be like Moldova or something? I feel like this kind of like vegetation is too southern for Moldova, but it does kind of fit quite nicely for Iran. The problem is that Iran often has holy poles, and this is more like a Russian pole, so maybe it could be like Armenia or something like that as well. That would also make sense for having like a fairly like similar infrastructure to Turkey, so I might go Armenia here instead. Especially because with the lack of blue strip, which I feel like you normally have in Iran. So yeah, okay, that's my logic here. Let's go in here and give it a guess. It has to be fairly flat for Armenian standards, so why not Yerevan? That feels good enough to me. And it was indeed Azerbaijan instead. Okay, don't know why I didn't think of Azerbaijan, because it did feel so like Iranian, so that makes perfect sense. Yeah. I don't know, I should have looked at the map. I think if I looked at the map a few extra seconds, I would have gotten it. But guys, thank you very much for watching the video all the way to the end. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you guys in a video very soon. Give the video a like, and goodbye.